Hello and welcome to another episode of IMO, in my opinion. We're here today at the lovely Majestic Theater with Danny Eaton, who is the producing director of the Majestic Theater. Thank you for having us here, Danny.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hey.
Sorry, my pep just kicked in.
This is Jill's first time here, so can you tell us a little bit about the history of the theater?
Yeah, well, the Majestic was really a local landmark. It was a movie theater built originally in the 1920s, and West Side's kind of an interesting town. You know, that river that separates West Springfield from Springfield is really a border. You know, it's one of those towns that hasn't been very transient, and so the Majestic, for decades and generations was. The place in town. If you were of a certain age, you absolutely had your first date. You were here on Saturday, all day, and as you got a little older, you got to be a teenager, you had your first date here. So it was one of those places, and it shuttered up in the 70s, mid 70s finally, and sat kind of empty. Got a developer came along in the 80s, and he kind of split the building in half and took this front portion where we're at now and made it into commercial office space and left the back half of the theater just empty, abandoned, and that was the space that we took over in 1995. Took us a couple of years to renovate and open the theater, and so since then we've expanded.
No, just so people know, because if you're not aware of where the theater is, you might have driven past it
1,000 times.
Yeah, like you have it's not like you're driving, you're on Broadway and there's theater after theater, so you know it's a theater. It doesn't look like a theater, it looks just like another store. So it's when you're in West Springfield and you are kind of getting, maybe a good landmark, Route 20, but right across from the Soup Nazi. Everybody knows the celery stalk.
The Soup Nazi, yeah.
So right across from the soup, it is.
I was like, next to the bank.
Next to the bank. And we're like,
I've learned something new today.
It's kind of on the corner of where Route 20 kind of goes up the hill. So, because you will drive by it a billion times. I have, and never really.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I mean, we're still kind of after 15, 16, almost 16 years, we're still a little bit of a secret in some respects, But
well, that's the thing. I'm all about local. I'm talking about it all the time. And I found Exit 7 Players over in Ludlow. I recently found that. Now I'm finding this, and it's so incredible because we all know how expensive it is to go into the city. And I'm not knocking going to Broadway because it's definitely a different experience and it's worth it. But for especially like you with your children and stuff, getting kids exposed to theater, what a great way to do it affordably so the whole family can come down and see a show and probably still have money to actually eat that week.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about the season and the current show?
Sure. Well, we do a kind of a traditional 5-play subscription season, and it's a mix. We'll always do a musical and some comedies and a classic drama, that kind of thing. The show that we are working on right now, as you know, is a play called The Island Lily, which is a play that I wrote and was kind of inspired by a couple of fishing trips down to Key West, Florida, and
I don't want to interrupt you, Eddie.
Characters I met down there.
I've heard there's usually you get, average size stars because it is West Springfield. But this show, I heard you got a blockbuster. I mean, the biggest star, and I heard, just rumor, and she'll do autographs.
What she's talking about.
She's blushing though, but she's blushing.
I don't know what she's talking about.
It's always good when I can make black women blush,
Yeah, you know what? That's pretty rare. It's pretty hard to make me blush.
So what's your character? You're in The Island Lily. What's your character?
Well, I play the character of Junie, and I'm a bar owner down in Key West. And I'm going to let Danny talk a little bit more about the play, kind of describe everybody, and because he actually wrote it as well. Like you said,
awesome.
He wrote it and he's directing it. So, do you want to talk more about the play?
Yeah, it's a set in kind of a semi-run down, off the beaten path marina. There's Alika's character, Junie, has inherited it from her husband, her late husband, who was from the Delaware Wilkins. He's a trust fund baby and an alcoholic, and what better
Sounds
thing
like a guy I would have dated.
for an idle alcoholic than own a bar down in Key West, right? So and there's a charter boat captain who slips his boat at this marina and has been for years and years, and they have a relationship, a developing relationship in the play. And he's kind of he's an incredible fisherman. He's a tournament fisherman. He's had world records, but he's not a very good businessman. All he really knows how to do is fish, and there's a young kid who's his mate who aspires to be a charter fisherman, and then a couple of other characters who were really inspired by people I met down there who were kind of real estate developers, sharks, and she's a trophy wife, and he's this sort of bombastic guy, and he sees something and he wants to get it right away. He'll just go buy it, and they're tremendously wealthy, and so this place kind of circles around these characters and their relationships. So
I love the fact that you wrote it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's makes it even more special.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my background from writing plays, really, and kind of transitioned into directing and then producing, and then founded the theater back in '93. I guess it was when we first incorporated. Just been going at it ever since.
So that's one of the 5 for the season, the Island Lily.
Yeah, one of the 5.
And what are some of the still upcoming ones?
After Island Lily is Eugene O'Neill's great play, Long Day's Journey into Night. It's probably the greatest American play.
Yeah.
And then we close out the year with the 39 Steps.
Cool.
So, yeah.
How do people get tickets? Can you go online and get tickets, or they call you?
Well, you can certainly go to our website and check us out, but everything really runs through our box office, and it's a simple phone call.
Great. And you can call ahead and get tickets.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I didn't realize, I hadn't put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Silly Jill. That you guys are the car. This car Jen wanted for Christmas. This was on her wish list. I told her it wouldn't fit in her stocking. I was like, but honey, I have to wrap all of your presents and I can't wrap that.
I put a bow on it, okay?
So this is your deal. Tell me about the raffle.
Yeah, now that's our major fundraiser. We've been doing that for 16 years now, annually. And, along about February or March, we'll shell out like $50,000 and go buy a car and a motorcycle. And, then we start selling tickets at $10 a pop. And New Year's Eve, we do the drawing, 2 minutes past midnight or something after the champagne toast. And then we get to make a couple of really fun phone calls, calling people up.
That's awesome.
So sometimes we've had to leave messages. Sometimes we actually wake people up and say, hey, guess what? You won a Corvette,
Like, what?
Surprise!
Yeah. Happy New Year.
This is a 1961 Corvette for the one this year, right? And is there also a motorcycle?
A motorcycle, yeah. An 87, kind of a first generation Harley lowrider is the second prize.
So then by the time the show is up, I think that you'll have about a day or two to get tickets. And where could someone get tickets for the raffle?
Right here. They can do an online ticket order or call in and again through our box office purchase tickets, and we'll send them out. And then we do the drawing on midnight. We've got a huge raffle barrel that we set up over there in the cafe, and we actually have people come down here.
Really? Watch?
10 of them and watch and, buy their last tickets.
Right.
And, so.
Do we have time for one more question?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, I know a lot of people who are into acting and at that level where they're sort of just entry level.
Yeah.
Do you do things throughout the year where someone might be able to, or any of the performances that you spoke of, someone that's in the community could get involved as an actor or actress? Or
Well, sure. We do a huge round of auditions in the springtime, typically, and try and cast all of the next season's plays. So through the summer, but the auditions are open to anyone.
Okay. And is the theater rentable? Like, can you rent it for a private function if you were going to maybe have like a birthday party and you wanted to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they do a lot of things here. So also in the summer they have children's theater, and it's very affordable. I've taken my kids and it's a lot of fun. They use teenage actors, I think a couple college or high school actors for that. Yeah, and they've had live bands here in the summer. Check out the Majestic Theater's website, majestictheater.com, right? Is that right? And in the summer, there's live bands that perform here all summer. There's really cool concerts that happen here. So this is a really nice place to check out year-round. Thank you so much, Danny, for being here with us today. And we will be right back. Thank you. So we just got our food. Are you excited?
I am excited. This is a sampler. And usually
Right.
samplers have a ton of stuff I don't like.
Right.
But this is a good one.
This is a good
I'm
one.
excited.
Fried pickles.
Yep.
Green beans and
Mozzarella sticks.
okay.
And lots of sauces. So you can kind of try each thing in each sauce, which will be fun. It's like a little kid. I'm excited.
So which sauce do we try first?
I don't know. I want a green bean.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what this is at the end, but this looks pretty good. Good.
So we have our desserts.
They look really pretty.
Ready?
Yeah, let's take a bite. Really good. I have the cheesecake. Alika had the apple pie. And their slogan here is everybody's restaurant. And as two vegetarians, we were both really satisfied with our meal. So it's definitely everybody's restaurant.
Definitely. They also have hamburgers and steaks and other things too, right?
Yeah.
We're right off of Route 57 West in Feeding Hills. And we especially like to thank Dino, the owner of the restaurant. And when you come visit, say hi to Dino and tell him IMO sent you.